Welcome, Mindsetters. Welcome to Mindset Learn Extra, where you learn more, learn extra. You tuned in this hour with myself, Tebogo Precious, and Sihle. How are you?
Good, Debzangwana. How are you?
I'm awesome, thank you. Could you kindly let our Mindsetters know what to expect in today's show?
Today we're still going through the Exemplar 2012.
Okay.
Like we did the other month, last week Monday, yeah.
Okay, you guys, I hope you're as keen as I am. Now, I'm sure you should all be familiar with the Samsung and Learning Hub competitions going on. It's the exam revision marathon competition. Guys, you need to enter. We are now on our second lag 2, and you do not want to miss out. You can stand yourself a chance to win one of 8 amazing Samsung tablets. 8. Now all you need to do is download the notes for today's lesson, and at the end of, or at the bottom of your notes, you get a unique number that you use to enter on a link which I will post shortly after this. Now, to quickly show you a sneak peek of what the Learning Hub is capable of is, this is awesome, guys. You can literally just look at the show, one of our Learn Extra exam revision shows, while following through the notes as well, like at the same time, simultaneously. And you can even grade yourself or check your marks and see if there's anything you did wrong, your corrections. It's really very convenient, guys. Make sure you enter the competition. You do not want to miss out. Sihle, over to you.
Thank you. Guys, you must get that tool, eh? I've got one of these by faith. All right, thank you, guys. Can you please look at number patterns? You've got your question from your exemplar paper. You're given 3x plus 1, 2x, 3x minus 7. Those are the first 3 terms of the sequence of a linear pattern. And remember, a linear pattern has got the same difference, first difference throughout. For instance, if you have, you have 3, let's just get the pen working. Right, you've got your 3, 7, 11, 15. The difference here is 4 throughout, so this is a linear pattern. All right, so now this is the same thing. They're saying here, they're making our life very easy. They're saying if the value of x is 3, write down the first 3 terms. Now, guys, you are given your 3x plus 1, the 2x, 3x minus 7. Now, we are told that the value of x is 3. So in the place of x, we're going to substitute by 3. So now, let's go. You've got your 3 bracket 3 plus 1, 2 bracket 3, 3 bracket 3 minus 7. Right, so now we work it out. 3 times 3, that's a 9 plus 1. You get 10, 6, and then 2. Right. So the first 3 terms of this sequence, it's 10, 6, and 2. Now, as I was saying earlier, that they've made our life so easy by giving us the value of x, that x is 3. But now, what if they did not give us the value of x? The first question was to say, okay, calculate the value of x if this is a linear pattern. Now, what you do is, because you know that the first difference is the same throughout, so you've got d equals to term 2 minus term 1 will be the same as term 3 minus term 2. Now, let's just go with that assumption. Let's say they did not give us the value of x. So you've got your term number 3 minus term 2 will be the same as term 2 minus term 1. Now, your term 3 is 3x minus 7, minus your term 2 is 2x, equals to your term 2 is 2x, minus the term 1. Don't forget to put a bracket, is 3x plus 1. Right? And then you simplify, so you get your x minus 7 will be equals to 2x minus 3x minus 1, which is x minus 7 equals to negative x, negative 1, which gives us 2x equals to 6, therefore x equals to 3. So what I'm trying to say is, they can ask you a question and say, find the value of x if this is a linear pattern. Okay, so the x value is 3. Right? Now, guys, let us move on to the next question. They're saying find the formula for Tn, the general term of the sequence. Now, this is a linear pattern, guys, so you can work it out by inspection. Now, watch. the difference between the two, so this is your term number 1, this is your term 2, this is term 3. Now you say 6 minus 10, you get a negative 4, and 2 minus 6, it's negative 4. All right? So now you have the difference, which is negative 4. So what you do is you say Tn is negative 4n. Now watch, guys. If I want to find the first term, I want to get 10, right? From this, if say this is, you substitute by 1 here. So if you substitute by 1 there, you get negative 4. Now to get to 10, you need to add something. So you have to add what? You have to add 14. So your general term is Tn equals to minus 4n plus 14. Now how do you tell if this is working? You're now going to say T1 is minus 4 bracket 1 plus 14. Work it out, 14 minus 4, that is 10. Right? So it works for the first term. Now the next term will be term number 2 is minus 4 bracket 2 plus 14. And 14 minus 8 is 6. So it works for the first two. Now let's just check the last one. So term number 3 will be minus 4 bracket 3 plus 14, and 14 minus 12 is 2. So it does work. And in most schools, they're using the metric formula, your linear pattern formula, which is Tn equals to A plus n minus 1 into D, whereby your A is the first term and D is your constant first difference. So your A is the first term, which is 10 in this case. So you've got 10 bracket n minus 1, right? And your D is negative 4. Then you multiply into the brackets there, you get 10 minus 4n plus 4, which gives us minus 4n plus 14. So your Tn is minus 4n plus 14. Whichever way you used, either your Tn equals to A plus n minus 1 into D, or you look at it by inspection, you've got your minus 4n. What is it that I have to add to minus 4 to get 10? I have to add a 14. All right. Now, guys, I hope that helps. Now, the next question is, which term in the sequence is first to be less than negative 31? Okay, so which term in the sequence will be first to be less than negative 31? So you've got your Tn as minus 4n plus 14, right? This is your Tn equals to minus 4n plus 14. Now, which term will be the first one to be less than negative 31? Okay, now we work it out. You've got your minus 4n less than negative. Now you take your 14 across. So you've got your minus 31 minus 14. So you get negative 45. Now, guys, you've got your negative 4n and negative 45. Now you want to solve for n. You want to get rid of that negative 4, which multiplies into the n. So what you do is you divide by negative 4 throughout. Now, guys, remember, if you divide by negative, say you divide by negative 1 throughout, the inequality sign changes. If you divide or multiply by negative, your inequality sign changes. So you're going to have n is greater than, now we have a situation here, you've got 45 divided by 4, we get 11.25, right? So you get 11.25. N should be greater than 11.25. Now, which term in the sequence would be first to be less than negative 31? So the next term after 11 is 12. So you conclude by saying, therefore, n equals to 12 will be the first to be less than negative 31. All right. So now, I hope that one helps as well. So we can move on to the next question. All right. Guys, you've got the second question here. It says, the multiples of 3, right? You can tell me the multiples of 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, form the number pattern. It forms this number pattern, which is 3, 6, 9, 12, and the next term will be 15, and on, right? Now, find the 13th number in this pattern that is even. Now the key word here is even, right? So 3 is not even, 9 is not. Now let's just extend this sequence a little bit. So you've got your 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. All right. Now we have to check which numbers are the even numbers in this sequence. Okay. Now let's just check the even numbers. You've got your 6 as your first even number in this particular sequence. You've got your 6, 12, 18, right? Now I'm leaving out the 3, 9, 15, 21 because I'm guided by this word. Find the 13th number in the sequence that is even. So I've got a new sequence here for even numbers of this one. So I've got 6, 12, 18, da 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 da. Right? So now I've got the first 3 numbers. I've got 6, 12, and 18. Now I need to work out the formula, the nth term of this particular sequence, right? Now I need to check the differences, right? So now 12 minus 6 is 6, and then 18 minus 12, it's also 6. Now, as we were saying, you've got your Tn equals to 6n, because I've got that 6, right? I got 6a. Now I want to check the first term. If I sub in 1 here, I get 6. Sub in 2, I get 12. Sub in 3, I've got 18. So the formula to find the number of terms of this even sequence is 6a. Now, guys, to answer the question now, you've got to find the 13th term of this sequence. Now, what you do is, you will say this is T13 equals to 6 bracket 13. Now, you work it out using your calculator. So I have, right, 6 multiplied by 13, that gives us 78. So term number 13 of this sequence is 78. All right, so you've answered that question. Now, guys, we can move on to the next question. Now, the next question is a finance question, right? Now, guys, let's just read through this question. Tando has 45,000, oh, sorry, it's 4,500, right? In his savings account. The bank pays him a compound interest rate of 4.25%. Calculate the amount Tando will receive if he decides to withdraw the money after 30 months. Right. Now, so what I'm going to do is to give this question to you guys to do it at home, and after the break, we'll look at the solution. Over to you, my sister.
Okay, I hope you guys are paying attention and that this is very beneficial. And I'll see you guys after the break. Welcome back, Mindsetters. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. If you just joined us, don't forget to post all your questions on facebook.com/learnextra or mindsetlearn/live. Do not forget about the Samsung competition as well. Post, guys. Enter the competition. The draw could be taking place anytime soon. Sisha, are you ready?
Very much ready.
Over to you.
All right, thank you. Guys, I hope you've done this question, right? Let me just repeat. Tando has 4,500 in his savings account. The bank pays him a compound interest rate. Now, grade 10s, you've got your simple interest and your compound interest. Now, they're telling us that this is compound interest, so we know that the formula to use is A equals to, okay, equals to P bracket 1 plus I, but all to exponent n. Right? Guys, this is not simple interest. You're not going to use your A equals to P bracket 1 plus IN. All right. Now, P in this case, you've got your 4,500, and your interest is 4.25 per annum, right? And then he needs to withdraw this money after 18 months. Now we have to check, now how many years is 18 months, right? So now we're going to get the number of years here, you're going to say 30 divided by 12. So now let's just substitute there. So you've got your A is, your P is 4500 bracket 1 plus, the interest is 4.25%, but all to exponent. Now if we convert this to years, just get our calculator. You've got your 30, right? This is 30 divided by 12, and that gives us 2.5. So 30 months, it's 2.5 years, so it's 2.5. So you've got your 2.5. Now next, you can just put this in your natural display. Okay, we have, now let's just calculate quickly. You've got your 4,500 bracket 1 plus your percent, you can keep it as percentage, which is 4.25, and then let's get the percent to the exponent 2.5. Right, so we get 4,993 rand 47 cents. So it's 4,993 rand. Let's just double check there. 47. Right. So the amount that this guy, Tando, is going to get after a period of 2.5 years is 4,993 rand 47 cents if the interest is your 4.25%. Right. Now, guys, let's move on to the next question now. You've got your next question. It says the following information is given, all right? 1 ounce is 28.35 grams. And $1 to South African rands is 8 rand 79 cents. Calculate the value, the rand value of 1 kg gold bar if 1 ounce of gold is worth $978.34. Now, guys, let's just take the given information. You've got your 1 ounce, which is equivalent to 28.35 grams. Okay? Now, this is given that we need to work with the 1 kg gold bar. Let's convert the kgs to the grams first. Now, what do we do if you've got, how many grams are there in a kilogram? There are 1,000. Thank you very much for pointing that one out. So there are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. So you've got 1 kg is equivalent to 1,000 grams. But we don't know how many ounces are there for 1,000 grams. We know that 28.35 grams is equivalent to 1 ounce. So we don't know what this is. We can calculate the value of X. Now, how can we do that? Now, watch. 1 ounce divided by X ounce equal to 28.35 grams divided by 1,000 grams. Now, I just want to calculate X, which is the number of ounces if you're given 1,000 grams. Now, here, I hope it's going to be easy for you. You cross multiply, okay? The denominator on the left multiplied by the numerator on the right, and the denominator on the right multiplied by the numerator on the left. So I get 1,000 equals to 28.35x. Now, I want to find the value of X. So therefore, X is 1,000 divided by 28.35, which gives us, okay, let's just calculate. You've got your 1,000 you've got your 1,000 divide by 28.35, we get that. So you've got your X is 35 point something ounces. So you see that 1,000 grams is, we have 35 point something ounces. Now we need to work it out now. You go back, the rand value of 1,000 kilogram gold bar, if 1 ounce of gold is this, if it's $978.34. Now let's work it out quickly. So we've got that 35 point something times, now watch guys, let's just work it out quickly here. So you've got your 1,000 divided by 28.35 times. Now watch, this is equivalent to 978.34 US dollars. Now 978.34, 978.34. But now remember guys, here we're still working with dollars, but I know that the dollars, it's given that $1 is equivalent to 8 Rand 79. So $1 is equivalent to 8 Rand 79 cents. So now I'm going to convert a dollar to a rand, because the question here says calculate the rand value of 1 kilogram of gold bar. So now what you're going to do is, this is 8 Rand 79, so I'm going to multiply by 8 Rand 79. So this will be in rands at the end of the day. So I'm going to get an answer in rands. Right, so now let's get our calculators. Right, we have, okay, now let's do it. Do it with me. You've got your 1,000 divide by 28.35. Now we multiply by 978, sorry. We multiply by 978.34 times 8.79, which gives us this amount, 37.164. So you've got 3033 37.16, 37.16. So now at the end of the day, the 1 kilogram of gold will be equivalent to, let me try and call this amount, I have never had a time to hold this kind of amount. It's 303,337 Rand 16 cents. Okay, guys? So I hope that works as well. Now we can move on to the next question. Right? Our next question is, now it says the following advert appeared with regard to buying a bicycle on a hire purchase agreement loan. Now remember, if they are telling you that it's on a hire purchase agreement, it means that you have to use your simple interest. Okay, now this is a purchase price, which is 5,999, but you have to pay the deposit of 600 rands, and the term loan is 18 months, right? At 8% per annum simple interest. So per annum simple interest, how many months, how many years are they in 18 months? How do you convert that? We're going to say this is 18 divided by 12. Now you get your calculator. 18 divided by 12 gives us the 1.5. So in 18 months, this is equivalent to 1.5 years. Okay. Now, let's work it out. Calculate the monthly amount that a person has to budget for in order to pay for this bicycle. All right. Now, first of all, this is given that it's 5,999. but you have to pay the deposit of 600 rands. So you're going to subtract 600 rands from 5,999. Now, what you're going to do is, now this is for 5,999 minus 600, so let's work it out. So the bicycle is now 5,999 minus 600, which gives us 5,399. So we get 5,399 because you have paid the deposit of 600 rands. You already paid the 600 rands, okay? Now, guys, this is a simple interest, all right? So what you're going to do is you've got your A equals to P bracket 1 plus, right, I times N, right? Now, let me just use this part of the board. So I've got A equals to, this is now 5,399 bracket 1 plus the interest. It's given that the interest is 8%. So you've got your 8% per annum times, converted the months to years, times 1,5. So times 1,5. Now, at the end of the day, if they're giving you this loan, you have your 8%, right, for a period of 1.5 years. So let's work it out. Take the calculator. You've got your 5,399 bracket 1 plus your 8%, which one is which? Shift percent, right? And then times the 1,5, close bracket, this, right? So now we get 6,046 rand 88 cents. But now we want to know how much is he going to pay per month. Now we are told that this is 18 months. So we're going to divide this amount. So you've got to, the amount that we've just worked it out here. Now at the end of the day, so monthly, he is going to pay that answer that we got there, which is on the screen now. And then we divide by, because that's a period of 18 months, so we divide by 18, which gives us 335 rand 94. So you get 335 rand 94. So this guy, each and every month is going to pay the 335 rand 94 cents. Now, guys, now what I'm going to ask you to do now after the break, how much interest does one have to pay over the full term, right? So you work out the interest for me there. So that is 1 mark. Let's just quickly go to the short break.
Okay, before we go on an ad break, can I quickly just ask one question from our viewers? Mamelo Mahoswani is asking from one of the questions you did earlier, do we really have to write 2.5 rather than 30 months?
30 months. But then this is yearly. It's compounded, right?
Yearly.
I think that's the question. So you have to convert it to years.
Oh, okay.
So if you wanted to write that months, it was going to be 30 divided by 12.
Okay. Well, Mindsetters, I'll see you guys after the break. Welcome back, Mindsetters. I'm glad you guys are paying attention to the show. Most of you are getting the answers correctly. And I see Witness Makubela says, hi, thank you, sir. We are enjoying. So thank you guys for paying attention. I'm sure it will do you more good than harm. With that said, you may continue with the show.
Thank you. Guys, I've worked it, the question before the break. How much interest does one have to pay over the period of that? Now, you've got your amount here, which was 6,000 and something. So I've worked it out here for you guys. I said, I'll just quickly do this. It's 5,399 bracket 1 plus the 8% times 1,5 minus, now guys, minus the original price now, which is 5,399. Mind you, he's already paid the 600 rands as a deposit. So this bicycle is 5,399. So now when I work it out, I get the interest is 647 rand 88 cents. So he's going to pay 647 rand 88 cents more. I hope that works as well. Now, guys, we're going to move on to the finance, it's functions part now. Now, let's quickly do your functions. You are given two functions. You got f of x equals to 3 divided by x plus 1 and g of x. So this one, it's g of x equals to minus 2x minus 4. Now, guys, you need to sketch the graphs of f and g on the same set of x's. Now, guys, this is a hyperbola. It's got asymptotes, right? Now, remember, this is in the form of y equals to a divided by x minus p plus q. Now, just to concentrate on this part, the x minus p, that is your x asymptote. So you're going to say x minus p is naught, then x is p, all right? So x equals to p is your x asymptotes because we're dealing with the vertical and the horizontal asymptotes here, and then your y will be equals to q. Now, what I'm trying to say here is, say for instance, you're given y equals to 2 divided by x minus 7 plus 5. Now, your asymptotes would be x is 7 and y is positive 5. Now, let's just look at this graph now. You've got your f of x equals to 3 divided by x plus 1. You can get the asymptotes there. Your x is 0 and your y is 1. Okay, so we've got that. So y is 1, x is not. So this graph is not going to touch those two, the y equals to 1 and x equals to naught. Right, let's get the y equals to 1. Let's say this, we represent the asymptotes with your dotted lines. So for instance, if this is 1, right, it's not going to touch there. Now, guys, the easier way of doing it in grade 10, okay, I can work out what your x-intercepts and your y-intercept and try to find some other points, and then we join. But now, the easier part, you can use your calculator, right? And we get our functions ready. So now, please work with me. I'm going to go to mode, and then 3 for table, right? I have f of x. Now I get the equation, which is 3 divided by x plus a 1, right? So I've got the function there equals to, now I've got two functions now. The next one was, let's just double check the function there. It's minus 2x minus 4. So the function will be, the g of x is minus 2x minus 4, right? Equals to. Now, you tell your calculator where do you start. Now, you can start maybe at minus 10 or minus 6 and whatnot, but as long as you can see all your values, your x and y's and whatnot, right? So if I say maybe I start at minus 5, and then press equals to, end at maybe 5, and then step is 1, right? Now, guys, watch. Very nice thing here that's happening. You've got, this is a function of x, this is your x value, these are your y values. When x is minus 5, y is 0.4. When x is negative 4, y is 0.25. And when x is negative 3, y is 0. And then you get to minus 2, minus 0.5. And an error there because it shows that it's an asymptote, right? And then you get all your values there. Now, let's just quickly sketch this function. Now, quickly, going back, we know that the x-intercept, if we make x naught, y naught there, so you get to naught equals to 3 divided by x plus 1, and then naught equals to 3 plus x, then x is minus 3. So you go to x equals to minus 3, 1, 2, 3, x is negative 3. And then we take any point there because you've done it with the calculator. So if I sub in the -1 there, I get -2. So y, if x is -1, y is -2. So -2 will be there. Now, in your working area at home, you'll get something like this, right? On my left-hand side is the third quadrant there. And then on this other side, now, guys, if you take any point, right? If I take x1, substitute 1 here, I get 3 divided by 1, which is 3 plus 1, it's a 4, right? So you've got 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1 and 4. Now let's take any other x value, say take x equals to 3. So if x is 3, 2, 3, y is 2, right? Guys, you'll get something like this. Okay, sorry. This is your hyperbola, okay? Right? You getting all your values from your calculator, or you worked it out manually, it's fine, but we get the same thing. All right. Now, so you're done with the hyperbola part. Now we go on to the straight line, right? With the straight line, you do the same. You go to shift 3, and then you've got your function, substitute in your calculator, you've got -2x, -4, work it out, you get your values. Or, quickly, you know that the straight line, you need to work out what your x-intercept is and your y-intercept. For x-intercept, you make y0 and solve for x, and for y-intercept, you make x0, and then you solve for y, right? So I have now here, y is -2x -4, y is -2x -4. Now, for y-intercept, make x naught, right? Now, for y, make x naught. If x is naught, you get y is -4. I go to my graph. Y will be 1, 2, this is -1, -2, -3, -4. So x is 0, y is -4. Now I need to work out what x is. To work out what x is, you make y 0. So you've got 0 equals to -2x -4. Then 4 is -2x. Therefore, x is -2. Right? You already have this in your calculators as well, but I'm just showing you the manual way of doing things. Right? So you've got your x is -2. So -2 is somewhere there. And then you join these 2 points nicely. But guys, you at home, you can see that these graphs are going to meet at some point, and it looks like they're going to meet at 2 points if you draw them nicely. Okay, right. So you've got your 2 points of intersections there. Now, the next question is, write down the equation of asymptotes of f. We've already done that. We said we look at your denominator, so that's x minus p. So in this case, it's x minus 0 equals to 0, then x is naught, right? X is 0, and the other one, you've got your y equals to 1. All right? Now, next, write down the domain of f. F is your hyperbola, right? The domain, we're talking of x here. So now, guys, just change the color here. You can have any x value there, any x, but except when x is 0. So we can say here, x is an element of real numbers, but x may not be 0. Because if you say x is naught, look at your equation, you get 3 divided by naught, and then you're dividing by 0, it's undefined. Okay, so you've got your x can be anything from -infinity to +infinity, but except when x is 0. Right. Now, guys, we move on to the next question, all right? Now, they're saying given, it's the same question as well. So this is g of x, okay? Now, solve for x if f at x equals to g of x, if those two graphs are equal. Now, in other words, we're trying to find the points of intersection of those two graphs. Now, guys, this you can write it in the form of, you've got your y is 3 divided by x plus 1, and y is -2x minus 4. Now, this can be our equation 1, and that is 2. Now, when both equations are equal, now watch, this graph, it's equals to y, that graph, it's equals to y. Now remember, if a equals to b and b equals to c, therefore a is c. So now you've got both equations equal, those two graphs are equals to y, so you get your 3 divided by x plus 1 equals to -2x minus 4, right? Now, we can do the simple algebra here. you've got your 3 divided by, there's a problem here, guys. You've got x as a denominator. We want to get rid of the denominators, right? Now, if we want to get rid of the denominators, we look for the LCD. Now, remember, this is divided by 1, that is divided by 1, that is divided by 1. So in this case, the denominator is 1x, so it's 1 times x. So your LCD is x. Okay, now what do you do with that x? You multiply each and every term with your LCD, right? Now, I am going to have, let me just do it step by step. I've got 3 divided by x times x, right? That's the first term that I'm multiplying by the LCD. Plus 1 times x equals to minus 2x times x minus 4 times x. Now, boys and girls, you've got 2x times 3 divided by x. I'm multiplying each and every term with the LCD to get rid of the denominator. Now, the x divides the x. I'm left with a 3 plus 1 times x, I get 1x, equals to minus 2x times x. It's minus 2x squared minus 4x. Now, I have 3 plus x equals to minus 2x squared minus 4x. I can collect like terms here, right? I will take the negative 2x squared across, so I get 2x squared, right? Take the minus 4x across, changes the sign, remember? I get plus 4x, and then that 4x adds to that 1x, of which I get plus 5x plus a 3 equals to 0. Now, this goes back to our algebra again. You've got your trinomial, you have to factorize. So now, if we factorize here, we get 2x, x, 3, and 1, plus, and plus, right? Now, guys, this is now 2x plus 3 equals to 0, or x plus 1 equals to 0. Now, you have your 2x equals to minus 3, divide by 2 throughout, you get your x is minus 3 divided by 2. So the first x, so x is negative 3 divided by 2, or x is negative 1. So in other words, these two graphs are going to meet at those 2 points. So they're going to intersect at those particular 2 points. So I'm assuming at home you've drawn that graph nicely for me to see that it actually intersects at 2 points. Right, so in those 2 points, it's x equals to negative 3 divided by 2, or x equals to minus 1. I hope that helps as well. Right, now find the value or values of x for which g of x will be between minus 1 and 3. All right, now, so you've got your minus 1. What is your g of x? Your g of x is negative 2x minus 4. Right? So it's between negative 2x minus 4 less than 3. Now, guys, very important. I've got 2 inequality signs. Now, in other words, I have, if I can highlight here, I've got the minus. If you take it from here, right? Ignore this part for now. I've got the minus 2x minus, right? Minus the 4 is less than 3, right? So I'm doing this part first. So I've got the minus 2x is less than 7, then 2x, so x will be greater than negative 7 divided by 2. If I ignored this part on my left and do with this inequality first. So I've got the first answer there, right? Oh, now, I close here the negative, the 3, so I've got the minus 1 less or equals to negative 2x minus 4, right, which simply gives us minus 2x, and then a 3 divided by negative 2, then we get your sign changes. Remember when you divide by a negative, right? So you've got your minus 3 divided by 2x. So x will be less or equals to negative 3 divided by 2, right? But there is an easier way of doing this, right? So now what you can do is, grade 10s, you can take, because this function is shared between -1 and 3, you can take your -4 across on both sides. So we share the -4. So I will have -1 plus 4, and then minus 2x, and then 3 plus 4. Right? Now we simplify, you get your 3, and then minus 2x, and a 7. And then I divide by -2, divide by -2, divide by -2 throughout. And now the mere fact that I've divided by a -2, so the inequality sign changes. All right? So I get -3 divided by 2, x is -7 divided by 2. So which is the same thing as that one. All right? Whichever way you do it, you get your x should be greater or equals to -7 divided by 2, and x is less or equals to -3 divided by 2. I'll quickly do this one because of time, guys. You've got your k of x equals to 2 lots of g of x. So I've got k of x equals to 2. The g of x, now the g of x is -2x minus 4. So I have -2x minus 4, right? Now work it out quickly, -4x minus 8. Now let's answer the question. Find the y-intercepts of k if k of x equals to 2g of x. Now this is in the form of y equals to okay, it's -4x minus 8. Now how do you find the y-intercept? For y-intercept, you make x 0, right? So you say for y-intercept, let x 0. So if I make x 0 there, I get y equals to -8. So in other words, the y-intercepts, the y-coordinates here, I've got 0 and -8. So our y-intercept is -8. So over to you, Tumi.
Thank you so much, Sihle, for the wonderful lesson. The mindsetters are really enjoying it, and I can see one of them is saying, wow, this sir really knows what he's doing. I don't know, I wonder if there's one question you can attend to in the little time we have. Nompumelelo is asking, could you please show us how to plot a graph using a calculator again, please?
All right, using a calculator again. All right, let's just see this one. Write down the coordinates of x and y, intercepts of h, if h of is a reflection of the y-axis, so you make your x negative there. All right, okay. Let's go back. Now, what you do is, guys, you have a function. Let us say you have x squared minus 9, right? This is a function. So f of x equals 2. Now, what you do is, you go to mode. Okay, right now, first step, go to mode, right? So this is mode. You go to 3, which is your table, right? And then you type in your function. In this case, I'm giving you x squared minus 9, right? If you type in your function, so this is x squared, your x squared minus 9, and then you say equals to, and then you've got maybe the other function is minus 3 x plus 1 equals 2, and then you can start anywhere, say minus 6, and then you end at 6, and then your step is 1, and you've got your x values, and then that maps to y, which is 27, and then the straight line will be 19 and whatnot. I hope that helps because of time.
Yeah, I think so. I think she should be fine. Otherwise, guys, if you feel like you've missed anything, the shows will be available on YouTube. And thanks again for the wonderful lesson. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to enter the exam revision marathon, proudly brought to you by Samsung. Until next time, all the best with your exam preparations. Goodbye.
Thank you.